Hi, welcome to a2zknowledge.com. So today we are going to discuss about what is messaging queues or otherwise called as what is producer and consumer model. Okay, so what is message? So since we are starting with MQ, messaging queue, what is a message? A message is something that a sender will send to the receiver, right? Now, we don't want to get into too technical. I will give you some kind of a layman example in the terms to understand, first of all, what is the relation between sender and receiver and what is actually the message is all about. Okay, imagine it's you and you are sending a message to your friend. Okay, okay. So here you and is called sender and your friend is receiver and this is your message. Now imagine when you are trying to send a message, just imagine all this happens physically. You have a letter with you and you are just going for a place and then in a common place you are asking your friend also to come there and then you want to give him this letter. Now imagine so you are coming to the common place and then you want to give a message for him, but he is not available by the time. He is not there in that place. Now that means so this is something like the sender and receiver are not coming at the same time. This we call it as an asynchronous data transfer. So this is asynchronous application. So this is one application, this is one technology, and this is another application, which can be another technology. So your message is in asynchronous. Now imagine you and your friend, you both are coming at the same time. Then fine, you can give him the message. So this we call it as synchronous sender receiver. But all your applications will not be in synchronous mode. Now imagine there is a front end and you are just filling all the information to create a new account, and then when you click submit button and the front end takes the data to the back end, by the time the back end technology is not present, so that means you are not able to create the account, and the application will tell you, the front end application will tell you, so my consumer is busy or my consumer is not available, I cannot process your message. So it should not say in that way, right? So here all the time you are both the message sender and the receiver, the applications will not be in synchronous, right? It can be, it may or may not be synchronous. Sometimes it can be asynchronous. When we say asynchronous, sender and receiver will not happen with will not be available at the same time. That's may or may not. Fine. Now imagine the other case. Now you as a sender, you want to send a message. Okay, you are sending to an MQ technology. Okay, it's MQ is another technology. So you are sending the SMS to this or a message, whatever you want to send, you are sending it to the MQ technology. Now, you don't want to worry about your consumer. Okay, so sender is a producer, receiver is called a consumer. So you don't want to worry about the consumer. So this MQ is telling to you, you means you are a sender, this MQ is telling to you, give the message to me and you don't worry about your receiver. Whenever your receiver comes, I will hand over to him. So that means this MQ is taking care of your data. So there won't be any data loss. So imagine if you are sending the data, but your receiver is not there, then it's a data loss. When your receiver come back and he will check for your data, whether your letter has been came or not, but you have already sent a letter, but since the receiver is not there, the data has been lost. Now that is something you are decoupling the sender and receiver. You are decoupling the producer and consumer, right? So now, now after some 1 hour or 2 hour late, your consumer is coming into picture. Now this what this MQ will do, this MQ will hand over this message to the consumer. Okay. Now imagine as a sender, you can give message to multiple consumers. You have four friends. Okay. So you have more than like four friends. Okay. Imagine you have four friends and you want to give letters to all these four friends, but the letter has a different content for all these four friends. Okay. So now you are sending all the four letters. Okay. Let me put the number as four messages. You can send it to the MQ and you can leave the place. You don't want to stay there, so the application can send the message to this MQ and the MQ will take care. Now this MQ has to send all these four messages to your four friends, but the letter and the content is different. So this C, I means this consumer first person should get letter 1 and this is letter 2, letter 3 and letter 4. Now how a letter with the letter you can identify to whom I have to send this with the two address. You have mentioned something like a two address of the name, so this MQ technology will take care of that. It will take the message and it will read what is the name that you have mentioned in the two. If you have mentioned it as blue and it goes to blue person. If you have mentioned it as red and it goes to red. And so the identification is happening with the two. So in some MQ technology, we call them as topic. Okay, so a sender and the receiver will be get subscribed to the same topic. So a sender can send any message, but they will be mentioning a topic, and this consumer will listen to that topic, and then the MQ will hand over the particular message to the respective consumer. There won't be any confusion. Okay, so MQ is all about sending a message, so the MQ will take care of it, so no data loss will happen. And even this MQs can, some MQ technology can store the data. It's not like I hand over the message to this person and then I will delete it. No, MQ can still store it. You can configure it in some technology. So so the complete thing, like what we have discussed so far, is what is synchronous and asynchronous, and what happened to my message in the asynchronous model, and where come we are installing this new MQ technology. And MQ will take care of sending the message to the respective consumers from the sender, from the producer, and that based on the topic. In some technologies we don't have topic, and in some MQ technologies we have topic. And I will be giving you the list of technologies that we use in big data for MQs. So Kafka is one of the leading MQ technology, and then you have something called Flume, and then you have something called Scribe, or some of the very familiar MQ technologies in big data world. So all these technologies will send your data in streams. When sender gives me some 10 letters to consumer blue, so this MQ will send that 10 letters once the consumer comes into picture. And now imagine within some 1.1 second delay, sender is again sending 10 more new letters to the consumer blue, and the MQs will immediately send that 10 letters. So here the MQ won't say like just 1.1 second delay. Why should I have to send it again and again? So I will wait for some time. You give whatever the letter you want to hand over to him, I will give it to him. So it won't work in that way. So your data will be sending in the MQs will be in stream. Whatever the data comes, it will be sending it to it. And sometimes you may get a question. So if this MQ technology is required only when my applications are in not in synchronous, that is asynchronous. So this sender is one technology and this receiver is another technology. This MQ is required only when the data transfer is in asynchronous. That means both the sender and receiver is not available in the same time. So here, if my application, both sending sender application and the receiver application is they are in same time live, always they used to come in live and they are in synchronous. Even in that case, do I need to use this? Of course, yes. So MQ can be used in both asynchronous and synchronous mode as well. And due to that, you are decoupling the sender and receiver. So it's a great advantage to use it. So at some point of time, your sender and receiver may go offline, right? So your data maybe get lost. So here MQs are helping to do achieve the data guarantee, right? So here these technology something. So now we can speak technically. So sender is an application. Imagine there is a website or some file or folder or a database, whatever it is. It is sending a data via Kafka. We'll pick one technology from this three, Kafka. So the Kafka is an MQ technology, and we call this as producer. And this can be any technology. It can be a database, or it can be an ETL tool, or it can be your front end application directly, the data from user, whatever it is, it's producer. That the system which produce the data is producer. And consumer can be another technology, Spark. A consumer can be a Storm, or a consumer can be a file, or any other technology again. Okay, so this Kafka has to support both producer and consumer. They have the APIs and the coding stuff to support both consumer and producer. So in this video, we have completely discussed about what is MQ, what is producer and consumer, what is synchronous and asynchronous message, and now you understood like where this Kafka actually comes into picture, or Flume or Scribe. And then like we call all these Kafka, Flume, Scribe as a data pipeline technologies. As on the whole, we call it as MQ, that's fine, but on the whole, we have similar to MQs, we have some other technologies also, but they are not MQs. So on the whole, what these technologies are doing is transferring the data from one place to another place. MQs will do that in stream. We have some non-MQ technologies which again do the data transformations, but it will be in batch. So all these data transformation technologies means, sorry, not transformation, transfer technology is called data pipelines. And these Kafka, Flume, Scribe will not process your data. That is very important. Some people used to think they are processing it. Oh, no, They won't process your data. MQs will not process your data. They will just transfer the data from this place to another place. Nothing will happen with respect to like ETL processing and all. Nothing will happen in the data pipeline like MQs. So thanks for watching a2zknowledge.com. If you really like my video, subscribe my channel and forward this to your friends and colleague. And we do a lot of tech videos in two languages, English and Tamil. And I have given my LinkedIn and Instagram URL in the description box of the video in YouTube. If you want to contact me or if you want to follow me, please you can reach out me via LinkedIn and Instagram. Thanks for watching a2zknowledge.com.